Hi, my name's Carina Loscalzo. I am the chair of the Department of Physician Assistant Studies, and we had an excellent experience with EdTech over the past year or so. We've been working on a huge project. It relates to IPLS, which is Interprofessional Learning and Service. We actually initiated a committee probably about 4 or 5 years ago to move this initiative forward. What we're trying to do with IPLS relates to interprofessional learning, so that when students go out, in particular the clinical arena, we are working in interprofessional teams to provide the best patient care possible. So many initiatives throughout the university, we are trying to bring different groups together to work interprofessionally in terms of in the learning environment, so that when they go out to wherever they may be, either practicing as a clinician or in other areas, then they are accustomed to different groups of individuals and different professions, so that they can work more collaboratively in that setting. So, as part of that initiative, we need to get out the word to different departments and sometimes different schools for different events that we may be having here at Hofstra. And we needed help getting the word out. We needed help staying in contact with different students in different departments that may want to be involved in the initiative. And we also needed an aspect in terms of learning objectives. So we wanted to have a system where if a student attended an event, first of all, they knew about the event, they were updated about the event, but also what learning objectives were attached to that event, so that we can keep up with assuring that the students are reaching the goals that they need to for a particular course.
We're really excited to be at this stage in the process, testing this brand new, custom-built, custom-designed interprofessional learning and service database that IT helped us create. We started this process probably 2.5 years ago, I think, maybe late 2015, early 2016, when I was looking for a way to increase the involvement of disciplines across campus in various kinds of events that would help our students learn about how the really complex problems in healthcare require interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary approaches. How can we create some kind of centralized calendar or database that would be a place for program directors across programs and schools to go and find out about events that could be appropriate for their students and to train them for what the field really looks like? We invited folks from Physician Assistant Studies because they've been doing tremendous things in interprofessional teaching as well, and folks from the School of Medicine as well as nursing, and then folks from my own School of Health Professions and Human Services, including our Dean, Holly Syrup, who came together over the course of 2015, 2016 to really brainstorm about what are some of the barriers to getting our disciplines involved in different kinds of learning activities, and what could be potential solutions. And so here we are now in 2018, and we've just tested out this great new database that we're calling the IPLS database. It's Interprofessional Learning and Service. There's a calendar attached that'll be sitting eventually in the portal where folks from across campus will be able to access and see different events that are happening. And this database allows us to send out invitations to internal faculty, students, and staff across programs and disciplines, giving them an idea of what the event or activity is, what kind of learning objectives that we are assigning to this particular event. And it also has the capacity to attach assessments that we could identify both the baseline understanding that the students have of what some of the important components of the activity are, as well as what did they learn after the fact. And so it really has, quite a deep capacity for helping us not only expand the reach, but to track the usefulness and the value of these events and of this mechanism in particular. And so as we were brainstorming in 2015 and 2016 what we wanted and thinking about all the different things that this database should have, and so we invited the IT folks in to our brainstorming sessions, and Bobby Katami, Alex Smiros, Deanna Malloy, and Catherine Fisher were involved in the process from the outset. And it was great because they really were able to, identify where we might have existing software that would work versus whether or not we needed to create something new. And ultimately what it was decided is that while there was some really good software out there that could do pieces of it, again, it would be very fragmented. We needed to kind of create one system that could do all of these different pieces. That one system that could, pull in students and faculty and administrators from across programs and schools across the campus, and also have an opportunity to invite external folks because we often engage the community in our events. We needed a system that was going to be able to send out very professional invitations that had substantive content in there about what the event was going to be about. We wanted to be able to attach learning objectives, as I mentioned before. We wanted to be able to attach pre and post assessments. We also wanted to be able to send out reminders. We wanted to be able to send out thank you for attending emails. We wanted these to be branded in a way that folks would begin to kind of really see that this was an activity that folks were engaging in from across disciplines, and that it really had value far beyond one particular program. Then we wanted to be able to track who attended from which program. We wanted to be able to link those assessments. We wanted to be able to link to courses that had requirements for attending some of these events. And the EdTech folks were able to design, as I mentioned when I first started talking, this custom database for us that really enables us to be at the forefront of interprofessional learning. We are in the midst of writing up a series of articles about this particular mechanism that's so much more than a database. It really it's a collaborating mechanism. It allows us to bridge the divides that many of these disciplines often have, just by the very nature of how they're operating in different schools, on different schedules, with different kinds of didactic approaches. And so it's been a great journey, a great partnership between the academic programs and EdTech, which is really exciting. We've had tremendous support from the Provost Office on this, and we're getting really fancy in terms of some of our technological features. So now when students and faculty and the community attend our events, not only can we scan them in quickly, we're developing mobile apps, so we're going to be able to register them in a much more efficient system, and we're going to be able to follow up with them, to invite certain folks to certain follow-up events. We'll be able to create different kind of filters for who should be getting certain kind of assessments versus not, and this would just have been really complicated in the past, and in fact it limited what we were able to do in the past. It limited the involvement that the faculty could have because they just don't have that kind of time or resources to do this. So this has really been exciting, and we're looking forward to continuing the development of this innovation.